Here's what I want to do. I'm going to try something a little different. I want to try this to where we can have a conversation. I don't want people getting all bent out of shape. But I think what we're seeing right now is an exhibition in human behavior, right? As human beings, it's hard to look at the truth, A, if you're not looking for it, or B, if you don't want to believe it. And that's basically what big media is now. And many of the people who cover Michigan for a living don't want to find the truth because the path of least resistance resides in, well, just straight up making stuff up or believing what you want to believe. And that's reality, okay? And whether your marriage falls apart, whether you lose a job, you didn't get a job, someone else got promoted, we want to find a truth that suits our belief structure, something that we can survive with. Because oftentimes the truth is really hard. Your marriage fell apart because you acted like a penis. Your marriage fell apart because she wants someone else. Your kids do hate you. You didn't get the job because you're not good enough, etc. That's hard. And that's where the Jim Harbaugh stuff resides. So here's the deal. Rico and I, you can think whatever you think, right? If we had gone to Northwestern Tech, you would think one thing. We went to Michigan State, you want to believe another, right? But the many, 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 many people who listened to this show for a long, long time, even when it preceded Rico, I think you listen for a very distinct reason. I'm going to shoot you straight. You don't have to like it all the time. You don't have to believe it all the time. But whether it's your coach, my coach, or someone else's, I'm going to shoot you straight. So here's the straight truth as we know it here. It's what Rico and I said all along. Nobody wanted your coach. See, it's not an issue of, well, let's be passive-aggressive and ask a bunch of questions. There's not a lot of questions here. Jim Harbaugh does not want to be the coach at Michigan, and Michigan does not want him to be the coach at Michigan. But you're in it together for the kids. You're the busted marriage. The wife complains to your wife, the husband complains to your husband, and they both tell you the same thing. They don't love each other no more. But we're in it until the kids graduate high school. That's reality. Ward Manuel's not thrilled to have Harbaugh back, but he has to tell you he is. Jim Harbaugh, if you listen to Michigan insiders, was telling people what a pleasure it had been to have worked with them. That's past tense. Jim Harbaugh told recruits, including the best one you have, if the NFL comes a-knocking, I'm out. Jim Harbaugh got on that plane yesterday thinking he had the job. And you know what kept him from getting that job? People probably actually having to sit in a room with him for 8 hours. Wait, you showed up wearing cleats in my office? Get out. Like, serious. Rico, hey, you know, chickens are nervous birds. Get out. I mean, the reality is he wanted to be in the NFL. Guys, that's not Sparty radio. That's real radio. He doesn't want to be your coach. Think about this. The accepted truth in all of it. If he gets an offer, he's gone. He didn't. That's the other thing. You see the spin machine going on of, well, Harbaugh changed his mind. No, he didn't. Here's how that went. Jim, we're going a different direction. Well, you can't. I don't want the job. Yeah, that's not how that works. We're going with someone 30 years younger and who actually showed up prepared and didn't tell us about sleepovers. So here's the reality. If you think, well, how can you say no one wanted him? Rico, he played for the Chicago Bears. Did they call? Did they interview him?
Nope.
U of M's biggest donor owns the Miami Dolphins. Even before the Flores stuff happened, did Stephen Ross interview him? Nope. Said the opposite. I won't take him from U of M. Probably he knows what a wacko he is. Raiders, family friends, the Davises. Did they interview him? Nope. No. And neither did the other 5 of 6 openings. Minnesota was the one. And when you read Viking beat reporters, they're telling you one story and Michigan's telling you another. Now, who do you think you can believe more? See, Minnesota can sell you on the hiring process of getting the person they wanted. Because from what it sounds like, Jim showed up thinking it was in the bag, This is all the stuff I'm going to need. And the Vikings went, wait, you do realize you're here for an interview, right? You don't have this job. Well, unfortunately, Jim's not that perceptive. I mean, he's a weirdo. Weird people don't usually handle situations well. So now Harbaugh has to dovetail, come back to a place he does not want to be at. He didn't bother to call his staff, if you follow what Michigan insiders are telling you, and I can tell you that Wojo is not an insider. The point is, sorry, it's not good for both parties. It's not. Nobody does weird like Jim. Okay, that's fine. This is a bit different. See, now we're in a weird space where it's out in the open that he doesn't want to be here. And I will just tell you, it is going to make staffing more difficult. Your brother, you've already played that card. He's not going to hand you a defensive coordinator again. It's going to make recruiting more difficult moving forward. Guys, out in the open, your coach begged for an NFL job. Begged. His own brother was up on that podium yesterday in Baltimore telling the Minnesota Vikings to hire his brother. He doesn't want to be your coach, but he doesn't have a choice. He's stuck. And that is not a term you ever want to use with your coach, ever. And for those of you who go, well, Michigan's pumped up to have him, are you? Are you? After cutting him down last year? After not putting a big-time contract offer there this year? After letting him go out and publicly beg for an NFL job? And then, I understand, you weren't taking recruits yesterday. The symbolism of taking an NFL interview on National Signing Day is horrific. And remember something. Never forget this. The media here was rubbing their sticks together like a bonfire. And you can substitute sticks for a body part, and you'll know where I'm going. It rhymes with the word sticks.
I was about to say, does it rhyme with sticks?
Yeah, it does. It rhymes with tricks, bricks, and P-ricks. The bottom line is they couldn't stop about Mel Tucker. Oh, he's a bad guy for leaving Colorado. He's a bad guy for taking your money. He's a bad guy for getting brought up in a rumor by Bruce Feldman. He's a bad guy for taking this amount of contract. Couldn't stop themselves. Couldn't help themselves. But now Jimmy's got to come home. He's got to come back into a marriage he doesn't want to be in. Straight up. Oh, but I know what you'll tell me. Well, he can still win. You can do okay. You can. But the last I checked, okay isn't what we're all after. You want to repeat last year. You want to do better than last year. And if you're going to get to that next level, let me tell you something. And I think what Doug was saying has a lot of merit. And you guys need to listen, because if you're going to call this Sparty radio, I'll call you that Walmarter radio. Doug is spot bleeping on. Jim Harbaugh's got to come home and do a lot of fence mending.